military operation began amid chaos, but 12 years later, it evolved into an organized army, capable of carrying out the largest military exercise ever witnessed in Libya's vast desert landscapes. How did all of this happen? Four days before 0 hour. The preparations had not yet been completed, yet one man had already arrived in the field early. He went to the ground himself, moved among the deployment lines, observed readiness up close, listened to unit commanders, and noted details that cameras would never capture. From operations rooms to training grounds, and from military maps to naval vessels. He moved quietly and with deliberate confidence, like a man reviewing the final scene before a decisive and historic moment ahead for all. He surveyed the sands with the eye of a general who knows well that victory in war is not built on the day of attack, but in the days that come before it, through preparation. He examines the movements, tracks the targets, and rereads the details again and again. Like an engineer, ensuring that every part of the military machine will operate in harmony and full coordination. He notices a delayed fuel truck here, or poor artillery positioning there. Records his observations carefully, then issues his instructions with steadiness and precision, as if what will happen days later will not be merely a military exercise, but a real war, waiting for a signal from his hand to begin. General Saddam Haftar, the man who planned the largest military exercise in Libya's history. He organized the forces, coordinated the formations, and designed the exercise plans, then selected its battlefield and supervised every detail, from the moment of preparation to the shot that marked its execution. Al-Karama Shield 2, the untold story. A precise choice for an exceptional exercise. When General Saddam Haftar decided to conduct the largest military exercise in Libya's history in the Ras al-Hilba area, he was not merely searching for a vast stretch of land, but for a battlefield capable of simulating a full-scale war on terrain that closely reflected the realities of the Libyan landscape. This is Ras al-Hilba from the sky, the ground chosen by General Saddam Haftar for Al-Karama Shield 2, a vast area south of Derna, between the coast and the desert, bringing together in its terrain a miniature map of Libya itself. Elevated plateaus, suited for observation and fire control. Open plains for the movement of tanks and heavy vehicles. Rugged hills for assault and insertion operations. And vast spaces stretching toward the coast, allowing the integration of land, naval, and air forces. The harsh nature of the terrain was also part of the test itself. High temperatures, desert winds, and a field open to multiple possibilities and challenges, allowing thousands of soldiers to train under realistic scenarios that closely simulate real battles. The importance of Ras al-Hilba in Al-Karama Shield was not purely military. For the area located near Derna, the city that witnessed years of bloody battles against extremist groups, also carried a special symbolism within the doctrine of Al-Karama, as if choosing this specific field was not merely a training decision, but a deep message, recalling the victories and achievements of Al-Karama since 2014, and reflecting the scale of transformation in eastern Libya, which only years ago was an open battlefield for terrorist forces and cross-border militias, but today has become capable of organizing one of the most complex military exercises in the country's history. Ras al-Elba was not, in the calculations of the Libyan general, a random choice, but a carefully studied strategic decision, designed to test the full readiness of an army preparing to enter an entirely different stage. General Saddam Haftar's tours were not limited to tank positions and artillery sites deep in the desert. They extended all the way to the edge of the sea, in a scene reflecting the nature of the exercise he designed to be a comprehensive, multi-axis war simulation, not a conventional military display. Here, aboard one of the fast naval craft, General Saddam Haftar inspected the naval units participating in Al-Karama Shield 2. He stepped into the command cabin, reviewed radar screens, studied maritime maneuver maps, and listened to naval officers' reports on the readiness of communication, surveillance, and weapons systems. Questions focused on response speed, the ability of naval units to coordinate with ground forces during amphibious assault operations, tactical support, and logistical missions, and on their readiness to operate jointly under pressure. The inspection was not ceremonial. He was searching for potential gaps and identifying strengths to build upon, in line with his vision of transforming the Libyan armed forces into an integrated force, capable of operating on land, at sea, and in the air, within one timetable and one operational plan. He wanted to test not only the ability of tanks to advance across the desert, or paratroopers to deploy behind rugged terrain, but also the ability of naval forces to support ground operations and secure territorial waters at the same time. This vision stemmed from a deep understanding of the nature of modern warfare and the importance of diversified military capabilities. In that moment, the picture was complete before the young general. An army linking sea and desert, sky and battlefield, within an exercise simulating a war directed by one decision and one command. May 19th, 2026. 12 years and 72 hours had passed since the Al-Karama revolution. Ras al-Elba in eastern Libya transformed into a mass of fire and steel, moving as a single force. The roar of tanks tore through the vast desert. Attack helicopters swept across the sky at low altitude. Rocket launchers opened fire, and airborne assault units began landing behind the engagement lines. Al-Karama Shield 2 enters its decisive phase, in a defining moment of Libya's history, led by a rising general. More than 25,000 soldiers, along with hundreds of vehicles, armored units, naval assets, and aircraft, moved in rare coordination within the largest military exercise ever conducted on Libyan soil. At the heart of the Al-Karama storm, the 309th Brigade led the scene. Advanced weapons systems appeared for the first time on the field of Al-Karama Shield 2. More than 80 tanks, including upgraded T-72B3M and T-55 models, advanced in tightly packed assault formations, while heavy artillery and rocket launchers prepared the way with a continuous barrage of fire against simulated targets, replicating real combat positions. Suddenly, the skies over Ras al-Elba rained men. Hundreds of commandos and paratroopers landed behind enemy lines, using the rugged hills to execute flanking and assault operations, while helicopters flew at low altitude, providing precise, close-fire support throughout the different phases of the operation. Along the coastline, fast assault boats surged forward in joint operations, coordinating their movements with ground forces to simulate securing beaches and supporting advancing units from the sea. Screens displayed live drone feeds, maps shifted continuously, and units maneuvered according to highly precise operational timing under a unified command structure. Before this vast scene, General Saddam Haftar held his binoculars, tracking movements, directing units on land, at sea, and in the air, managing the exercise assault by assault, round by round. In those defining hours, Al-Karama Shield II appeared as a new achievement for the General Command, built upon a vision overseen by a young general who moved ahead of challenges and expectations. To develop an army that fought for survival 12 years ago, and today stands capable of conducting large-scale, multi-front warfare with professionalism, confidence, operational readiness, and capability. Vision 2030, behind the scenes of Al-Karama Shield II. At the heart of the Al-Karama exercise field, the appearance of upgraded Russian tanks alongside American armored vehicles, and the coordination between attack helicopters, air defense systems, and naval craft was not merely a display of diverse weaponry. Rather, it reflected geopolitical movements and regional and international relationships, shaped by General Saddam Haftar through foreign visits and diplomatic engagements, within a broader project aimed at implementing Vision 2030 through developing the Libyan Army, enhancing its combat readiness, diversifying its sources of armament, and integrating them into a single system, capable of dealing with wars whose tools evolve constantly. From Al-Karama 2014 to Al-Karama Shield II 2026. A young general, and long years during which cities burned and maps of control were redrawn. The Libyan south opened itself to chaos, smuggling, and cross-border groups. But amid all that destruction, another project was taking shape, quietly, within the military institution. A project that began on the battlefields against terrorism and reached the hands of an exceptional figure who would help define the image of Libya after victory over terrorism. Saddam Haftar began his path in the field with neither title nor rank, yet he managed to impose himself within the equation by striking the dens of drug traffickers, smuggling networks, and organized crime gangs from eastern Libya to the depths of the south and the southwest. Continuous work across vast deserts, open borders, and restless fronts. Complex domestic files and intertwined external ones, met by coordinated campaigns and systematic accusations that continue to target the general and question his abilities. Yet they are met with silence, with work, and with greater effort toward a single goal: building a strong army capable of enforcing security and protecting Libya's unity and stability. A difficult journey undertaken by General Saddam Haftar, who proved at every turn that leadership is not measured by rank, but by the weight of responsibility and the ability to manage difficult transformations in one of the most complex environments. Thus, Al-Karama Shield II became the culmination of exhausting work that was never intended merely to expand firepower or increase the number of tanks and military vehicles. Rather, it was part of a broader project to restructure a military institution capable of operating according to a modern doctrine, precise coordination, and a long-term vision. In Ras al-Elba, the deputy commander-in-chief was not simply watching tanks, helicopters, and assault boats in motion. He was watching a scene he had helped build with determination and unwavering belief. A continuation of the story of an army that began with dozens of fighters under impossible conditions more than a decade ago, then gradually transformed from a force fighting terrorism into a fully integrated military institution. A transformation during which General Saddam Haftar emerged as a spearhead figure, drawing on experience gained in the field, inside operations rooms, and through military and diplomatic engagements abroad. The Al-Karama Revolution, which began as a battle to save Libya from chaos and terrorism, today enters, under the leadership of General Saddam Haftar, its broadest and most ambitious phase. A phase based not only on fighting battles, but on building a modern military force capable of protecting the state and enforcing its stability and sovereignty. Within a strategic vision aimed at creating a more disciplined and professional Libyan army. A vision led by a young leadership working to restore the Libyan army to its natural place as a national institution for all Libyans.